All right. Welcome once again. Thank you for joining today's career session tutorial. So today's a very good session. We have a very good session, a guide to brainstorming and implementation. Mostly, we're going to talk about the idea to improve the world, of course, specifically the fintech. So as we know, fintech is one of uh, the top topic now when it comes to the hot in the world, the hot jobs and everything in the world. So most companies, NGOs, and every brands, they're using fintech on their generative AI to implement different projects, different ideas sustainably. So here we also be coming up with the idea and how to implement the idea, and of course also how to make the idea sustainability. So it's more of like sustainability, creating the idea and how you can make your idea more success and more creative, more sustainability, and more needed, of course, on the market, on the world's market. Yeah. So of course we also look at we want to be looking at thinking process from an idea to implementation, but also what exactly you need to know about sustainability in general. When you have an idea and you want to implement, how do you implement that, and how do you make it like come real? Start like everything from scratch. That's where what we want to be looking at, but also something else I would say now, what makes a good idea as well. How you can make a good idea of yourself, a very sustainable idea, and what do we do with that idea. So it's just that maybe you can start with the first page here. So there's idea process. First of all, there's idea process. So you have an idea, maybe it may be maybe a project, maybe application that you're developing, any idea you might have in your mind, and you want to implement it, or you want to um, make it real, to put it there on the table for people to implement or something. So this tutorial, this career challenge will help you with all that. How to come up with an idea, how to straight your idea, and how to build your idea to be sustainable. Yeah, using generative AI. So we start with the idea process, coming up with a good idea. How do you come up with a good idea? There's defining the problem. Of course, that's research. Define the problem. If you have a problem and you want to solve that problem, maybe there's a problem in the world. For example, there's no water, and that's the problem in the world, and you want to come up with a project to bring water, maybe in the community. For example, you might have maybe an idea to we might have a problem. For example, we don't have maybe access to what? Any example. You can just give any example, and you want to implement that idea. So we start with defining the problem. What's the problem? Within define the problem, of course, we have to make a research, a concrete research, like knowing the problem, each and everything when it comes to research, each and everything when it comes to that specific idea or that specific problem. So you define the problem, you go through the research, then the next year get inspiration and insights. Of course, here we talk about data sources, banks, maybe stocks, etc. Map out your idea, sketch and flowchart. Using sketch or flowchart, you can check here within the document. I will give you access to different tools that can help you. Then organize and prioritize idea. That's also very important. Develop concept and prototype and evaluate and refine. So that's the first step of ideation process. Coming up with a good idea. I will repeat, define the problem. That means like define the problem comes up with a full package. It is a concrete research. You have to make a full research about your idea. As I gave an example, maybe if there's a scarcity of water in your community, you have to make a research. Which kind of water do they use? Which kind of maybe water do they need? How maybe the capacity or anything. Yes, you have to make research, and you have to hit every corner. so that you can have your idea in full package. After that, there's getting inspiration and insights from that problem. Uh, Here we're talking about like, what do you know about that? You might maybe approach some people, maybe look up some data sources, as I said, like banks, stocks, supermarket, anything related to the idea that we have. Ideas might be different from according to people. Maybe Amen Zelania might be having this idea, but maybe Aga have this different idea. Maybe Abraham have this different idea, but the process is the same. The ideation process is the same. We start with defining the problem, research, getting inspiration and insights of that problem, then map out the idea using different tools, then organize and prioritize idea, because you might have one idea but coming also with other ideas, or maybe just one idea also comes with other small ideas like aside. So you might prioritize your ideas, then develop a concept and a prototype of the idea, and then evaluate the define. Talking about characteristics of a good idea. Here we can say solve a problem or seizes an opportunity. For example, generative AI has an impact and sustainable and scale. If maybe going kind of fast, you can tell me, and I want this session to be kind of more interactive. If you maybe you don't understand something, just let me know so that I can give more examples or I can highlight more about this. Yeah. So the characteristics of a good idea. One, solves a problem. That's number one. A good idea solves the problem. We have this problem, as we're taking the example of the water problem. Maybe let's take a good example, maybe according to what we're doing, according to the program. For example, maybe we want to build this app that will we do what? Do you have maybe an example you can take so that we can use that throughout the session, throughout the tutorial? Anyone can suggest an example of an idea in the chat box or something. If you're able to speak, you can speak. Let's just make it interactive. Anyone have an idea or something? You can take an example, then we go. In the chat box, you can always share anytime. Yeah. So the characteristics of a good idea, like what makes a good idea? What tells you this is a good idea, or maybe this is an idea that I can implement, I can put into implementation? Number one, the idea should solve a problem or seizes an opportunity, has an impact. Idea should have an impact. For example, maybe if you're bringing this application that is going to help people maybe to do what? I'm not getting like a good example to use here. Maybe you might get one. Just share in the chat box. Maybe coming up with a project, a program, maybe. Okay, let's just use Nana. I think you all know Nana that we use for schedules and everything. Coming up with Nana. Nana have impact. Of course, it helps with schedules, helps with each and everything that we use here in Ten Academy and everything. So there's an impact for that. Another thing, there's sustainability. Your idea should be sustainable. It should be sustainable. It's not just that idea that we come today, 1 year or 2 months, it's just done. No, it should be an idea that's sustainable, then has an impact, but also the scale matters. That's also another characteristic of a good idea. Going forward here, we also see the design thinking. Starting with the ideation process, we have seen the ideation process and the characteristics of the good idea. Then let's now see the design thinking. How do we come up with that idea? Number one, there's empathy. There's define the problem. There's ideate, and there's prototype. There's test and iterate. Design thinking and nonlinear process. There's this process can use. I think within the career challenge, we have each and everything explained and the tutorial. So here the 5 stage in the design thinking process. You can always access this link and you see all the content there. So going forward is data sources. If you want to look at some data sources, maybe to implement your idea or maybe to create an idea, you should also take in consideration of this, collecting statistical information to back your solution. Here you can use governmental agencies, e.g. maybe KNVS. If maybe you're looking into something like international, you can look into international organizations like WHO, UNDP, there's IMF, there's Eurostat, etc. When it comes to the research, or maybe you want resources to have data for your idea, you can always like take these statistical information about your idea in case maybe you want to come up with an idea. Something else, research institution. You can also look into research institution. There's LBAG, there's IPOS, there's Sinovet, there's APHRC. There's different resources that you can get data to make research or to make a complete idea that you have. When it comes to non-profit organization, you can also look into World Economic Forum. There's Amnesty International. There's a lot of this is just a few that we just put you here for you to see, but you can also look into other many sources, data sources. The open data portal as well. There's Kenya that portal. There's data government. There's US data government UK. You can always access these links. We share with you the links and the tutorial for you to see in case you want to implement your data. Of course, we will come up with ideas, as the correction says. And then there's also a social media and online portal, e.g. Twitter, there's Slack, there's news channel, there's TripAdvisor, there's Instagram. Every social media is linked in. It depends with the ideas you have. It depends with the problem you want to solve. So you can always look into different data source according to the idea that you want. Maybe if it's a government problem that you want to solve, you can always look into government agencies. If it's kind of international organization related maybe to these provided data sources that I provided on this tutorial, you can always use this. But don't get there's no limit. There's more data sources. You can always like make research and see other sources. Going to another part here, when it comes to finance technologies as well, a few examples of fintech and how can generative AI improve these technologies. How do you think this AI or generative AI can improve technologies? Number one, credit scoring platforms, there's retail solutions, there's e-commerce platforms, supply chain finances, and digital payment, like M-Pesa. I don't know some digital payments we use in Ethiopia, but in Kenya they use M-Pesa, Tanzania, I think even Rwanda there's mobile money, there's banking, there's insurance and micro insurance, there's etc. When it comes to finance technologies, when you want data in those kind of industries, yeah, you can always check into credit scoring platforms, maybe supply chain finance, anywhere. So you can always find like data or sources of to make your idea make your idea make more sense. And I think here, what is possible with generative AI in fintech? What do you think is possible with generative AI in fintech? There's a fine line in deploying AI in fintech because it requires 100% accuracy. There's also less than about consumer-facing tools like scoring, but more using banks' existing big data to make better informed decisions, provide personalized client intentions, but also automate core banking process. Another point I would also say is finance is strict to regulations. Since it has personal customers data, how can you apply generative AI with the least risk? Those are the questions we can also ask ourselves. But coming to generative AI uses cases, You can always check into chat box, knowledge interfaces, call centers to reduce all handling, AI generated personalized content for marketing, credit worthiness from data, etc. So where else do you think generative AI will make a big difference in fintech? If maybe you can also share that, like anything you can share on that. What do you think on this point? Where else do you think generative AI will make a big difference in fintech, considering what we have seen above? Anyone can always share in the chat box so make the session more interactive. Yeah. So I don't want to take long. You can just always share in the chat box your idea as we go on. Yeah. Talking also about the measuring impact when it comes to idea, but you also want to measure your impact. Impact involves assessing the extent of which a project achieves in intended outcome and create a positive change. So the framework here comes with with the framework here, you have to define the clear objective and outcome. Very smart. Identify the KPIs, the key performance indicators. For example, the numbers of beneficiaries, increase in knowledge and skills, reduction of specific problems, etc. It depends. This is just the idea. It depends with the idea. All this will just work according to the idea that you have, but you can always use this framework. So number 3 here, collect and analyze data. That's also a very sensible thing. And then when it comes also to another point here, seeking feedback, partners, funders, project, and participant, very important. Then continuous monitoring and evaluation of your idea. That's how you can measure your impact when it comes to measuring your impact or impact measure. As we said, like your idea should also bring impact. Very important. With idea. Going forward, talking about sustainability and scalability of your idea. Sustainability factors to consider, number 1, financial viability. If you don't have finance, there's no way your idea can be sustainable. So this is also a very concrete point. Sustainability have to go with financial viability as well, but it also depends with the idea. Number 2, resources efficiency. If you want to make your idea more sustainability and scalability, you have to tackle on these things: financial viability, resources efficiency, then community engagement. You have to engage the community that lies within your idea. Maybe if your idea was maybe the water supply within the community, you also have to engage the community, the people that you'll be serving, you know. Capacity building as well. Maybe you have a team. Maybe you will have the end users. There's also capacity building. You have to make sure they understand your idea, they understand its impact, what's in it for them, and what do they have to do, and what knowledge do they need. So capacity building is also a key point when it comes to sustainability and scalability of your idea. It's either maybe your team, it's either the end users of your idea or maybe of your project, maybe your supporters, maybe your anyone related to your idea. They should be capacity building because it's your idea. So you also have to make others know and understand well what you think, like how your idea is. Yeah. Are we together? Can you still like hear me? Just want to make sure because you guys are kind of silent. There's no interaction. Are we together? Amazing. Okay, so there's one more point here when it comes to sustainability factors to consider: monitoring and evaluation. This is a very important point as well. When it comes to implementation of your idea, you also have to consider monitoring and evaluation. You have to monitor your idea, your implementation, your work, and everything, and evaluate each and everything on a regular basis. Coming up to scal scalability, of course, you have to consider applicability and standardization, of course, standards of your idea, partnership and collaboration. There's no way you're gonna implement your idea alone. You have to also look into partnership. Who are the people that fall within the industry that you're coming up? Who are the people falling or meets your goals or acts around your goals or your vision of your idea? Who do you think you can partner with? Who do you think they can buy your idea? Who do you think maybe they can collaborate with you? Those are the people, those are the partners you should at first reach out to when it comes to your idea. Any idea, as we said, like at the starting point, any idea, you should have partners. As long as it's something you're going to implement, as long as it's something that have impact, as you have seen, um, as we have seen up here. Yeah, yeah. So partnership is very important and collaboration. You can maybe start with your friends, collaborating with your friends who you think they understand your idea, families you think they have capacity and understanding of your idea, but also coming up to capacity building. If they don't have like um, full capacity to implement what you want, that's when it comes to capacity building. So here, when we're talking about scalability of your idea, partnership and collaboration is also a key point. Another key point here, technology and innovation. Of course, because when we look into nowadays, there's nothing you can do without engaging technology. And of course, we're talking about generative AI. So any idea, any idea that exists for now, you have to use technology and innovation. So this is also another key point that you should also look into when it comes to idea implementation, idea thinking, or coming up with an idea, or addressability and scalability. Yep. Going forward, let's take a look into the challenge. But before we go to the challenge, let me see if we have any question about the tutorial here. Then we jump direct into the tutorial and I mean the challenge and the exercises. Do we have any question for now? I'm waiting for the question. If you have any question, you can type in the chat box. We are not a lot of people. I think if there's no question, just say no question. If there's question, just ask. Just want to make sure you understand this very well. I want to make sure we are on the same page before we go look into the challenge, the color challenge. Any question? We have Aga Chimdesa. I'm sorry if I mentioned your name incorrectly. Any question? Is everything fine on your side? Okay, Amare is fine. No question from Aga. Abraham and Getasu. Is it Getasu? Maslu? I'm sorry if I mentioned your name correctly. Any question? We good to go? No question. Okay. That means everything's always fine. So let's go direct to our week 5 exercise. Amazing. Okay, so here this is the Kifiya AI Mastery Training Program Week 5, the career exercise, idea in fintech to change the world using generative AI. And we have talked each and everything when it comes to um, sorry, when it comes to idea process, maybe doing a recap, coming up with a good idea. There's some key points: defining the problem, doing research, getting inspiration and insights, data sources. We have seen the data sources. There's mapping out your idea using some different tools and different uh, post tools. Then organize and prioritize ideas, develop concept and the prototype, evaluate and refine. Then we have also seen the characteristics of a good idea. Your idea should solve a problem or seize an opportunity for other people, and then has an impact, sustainable as well. Your idea should be sustainable, also scale, and then design thinking. I've seen about the empathy, defining the problem, the idea, the problem, the prototype, test it, and then iterate. And when it comes to data sources, we have seen different data sources from the government agencies. We have seen some examples, international organizations, research institutions. We have seen the examples like the Bag, EPOS, and others, non-for-profit organizations looking into World Economic Forum. We have seen about data, open data portals as the data source. We've seen the social media and each and everything, finance technologies as well, when it comes to credit scoring platforms, retail solutions. We've seen all that, but also what is possible with generative AI in fintech. There's some points we have seen as well as less about consumers facing tools like scoring, but more of using banks existing data, big data to make better informed decisions, provide personalized client interactions, automate core banking process, and blah, blah, blah. And generative AI use cases, we've seen that, measuring impact and sustainability and stability, we've seen that. And here we are into the career challenge exercise. So don't mind about the deadline, because we had to, this session we were supposed to be held on Friday last week, but I will rectify here, I will adjust the deadline to submit. So that means I have to add for you some days. So here, this is the introduction of the challenge. Maybe I can read for you to make it more understandable. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that. Okay, so here, the challenge here, making the world a better place is a kind and brave thing to do. Of course, and everyone want to make the world a better place. This, I think, this everyone's vision, So we need creative and new ideas to fix the problems we face today. There's a lot of problems in the world that people are facing. So these ideas can make people's lives better and create a brighter future for everyone. So here's going to be your challenge. For this exercise, we want you to tell us how you will use generative AI in the fintech industry to impact 5 million young people in Africa in the coming 5 years. Are we together? Are we together? Can you confirm? I just want to make sure that we are together on each point. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me so well? Amazing. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. in fintech industry to impact 5 million young people in Africa becoming 5 years. 5 years. So be very specific and describe how you will measure the impact of your idea, what role technology will play, and where technology will play a role. Remember that finance has strict regulations due to customers' personal and private data. Hence, it's always under uh, scrutiny for standards of accuracy, security, and privacy. How will you apply your solution with more impact, but also with the least risk? Extend the answer you provided to that question into a storyboard of PPT presentation from of 6 slides maximum, which would be suitable for sharing with others at 10 Academy to encourage them to join you to start implementing this project. Make sure that your presentation answers the following questions. This is now the exercise. This is where everything lies. So, number one, state the problem that you are addressing, why you choose that problem among many other, and as well as the field industry section it is in. You, your answer should clearly explain the problem you are solving and why you have chosen to solve this specific problem. Illustrate using at least one data source. The scale of the problem. This problem should affect at least 5 million people globally. Mention if this issue is occurring only in your country, in Ethiopia, or in your region. If it's, identify why it is only occurring in your country or region. If no, identify the other areas in the world where it is also occurring when you answer, of course. So ask yourself, can this problem be solved by generative AI solution? Number two, the question number two. Maybe I can repeat the question number one for you to understand it better, because I want this week 5 career challenge to be more practical and more creative, because it's really big, and it's going to give you a big impact as well. So I want you to make it really good, and put all your effort on it. So I will repeat the number one question. State the problem that you are addressing, why you choose that problem among many other, and as well as the field or industrial section it is in. Your answer should clearly explain the problem you are solving and why you have chosen to solve this specific problem or this problem. Then illustrate using at least one data source. The scale of the problem. This problem should affect at least 5 million people globally. Mention if this issue is occurring only in one country or one region. If yes, identify why it is only occurring in your country or in your region. And if no, identify other areas in the world. Maybe it may be in Rwanda, in Tanzania, in Kenya, in Europe, in Asia, anywhere, in a region. Anywhere else. So when you answer, you also ask yourself, can this problem be solved by generative AI solutions? Number two, this is the number two question. How would you solve this problem? What approach would you use and why? Is your a proposed solution realistic in your country, in your region currently? Here, is your proposed solution realistic in your country or in your region currently, current economic state? That's the question. Is your proposed solution realistic in your country or in your region, current economic state? Can your proposed solution be realistically implemented using generative AI technology that already exists? That's number two question of the exercise. Number three, what role will the technology play in your proposed solution to this problem? Will this technology be sustainable, affordable, and will it be applicable to all regions, all countries where this problem is occurring? Compare your proposed solution to current technology being used to combat this problem. Number four, find past solutions to this problem and illustrate how your solution has improved on the original or previous. Include this in your maximum 6 slides. The PPT, the 6 slide PPT. Number five, which is the last one. If you do not receive funding from your government, identify 3 funding sources you can realistically approach to fund your solution to this program. Include this in your maximum 6 slides. As we have said, to make your idea sustainable, you also have to look into collaboration partnership. So this number five, if you do not receive funding from government, also identify like sources you can also basically approach, people you can have as your partners, sponsors, or collaborators within your ideas. You should also include this within that 6 slide. Yeah. So for this assignment, feel free to use both images and words, of course, to communicate and complete this exercise. And while this exercise will challenge you to be creative about your presentation, it's also important that the content you submit remains within the following parameters. Number one, use bullet points, short sentences, and remember to use keywords. Don't just have like a lot of pages or something. Yeah, let's use the bullet points, short sentences, and remember to use keywords. Number two, make sure your presentation is easy to read. Do not use too many different colors or too many different fonts. Proofread your content before submission. Yeah, I think you remember the week 5, week 3, if not week 2, about proofreading, like giving your work or your project to people you trust, people to proofread, so that they can maybe identify maybe if there's errors or something that doesn't match. So here you have to proofread your content before submission. With you can also use the peers. You have the peers that we had last time. So number 4 here, there are only 5 main points that you need to address. So do not add any irrelevant information to this presentation, and make sure you have a cover page with your name. This is very important because we also base on that while correcting your submissions. And here I would also say each slide should be titled to indicate which point you are addressing. Number last but not least, you can use images in this presentation, but make sure everything in the presentation is relevant to the content you are delivering. Yeah. So here's a guiding template to help you organize your presentation when you come into this career challenge. You can access the links. So I don't think I will be opening all the links, but if you access this career challenge, if you click here, you will have some guiding templates to help you organize presentation when it comes to brainstorming and implementation of the idea slide. You can also check here on this link. Provided here for you to make it easy. Then support meeting and tutorial links have been provided as well, directing you to resources that you can use to create storyboards and PPT presentation. So go through all this. There's design thinking storyboard, there's Canvas storyboard, there's PPT presentation basics, There's creating a good PPT presentation. Deadlines here. There's HubSpot marketing, PowerPoint presentation. There's 50 PowerPoints ideas. There's how to achieve flow during a presentation. How to create a storyboard using PowerPoint as well. There's uh, how to storyboard our 4 steps guidance. There's a lot of links you have provided for you to make the work easy. So there's also how to turn your essay into a PowerPoint. For example, maybe you've come up with the idea and you've made all the content using the AI probably, and then you want to make it in PowerPoint. So you can always use this link here, this tool here, to make your essay into a PowerPoint. This for the exercise. The first hand in real results in feedback from your tutor when your assignments will be handed back to you. So you're also expected to listen to the feedback and edit your assignment in adequate response to the feedback you receive. So I'll be giving you feedback on this specific exercise, and your final mark will be based on both your assignment and how you received and responded to the feedback. I hope that's understandable. So going forward here, there's the marking rubrics, the slide structure, of course, quality of the writing. We're going to be looking into that as well. The problem analysis, the overall presentation. That's also something that we're going to be looking into. So just try to make your work more neat and clear. Not even here, the individual feedback will be given usefulness in the real life. And then here we say how this is really useful in your life. Of course, the exercise is designed to help you identify and recognize challenges that require modern day solution, to help you develop realistic solutions to the problems and help you articulate and plan a solution. It has you? I didn't get you. Was that a question? Hello, Msalu, get us you. Are you talking to me? Is that a question or something? Maybe it is towards someone else communicated. Yeah. So here we uh, saying about like how this will be more useful to your life, and of course help you articulate and plan your solution. Also improve your writing skills and challenge you to think critically about global issues and how they impact you. So this is it. This is the career challenge today, and this is the document. So I will go on and share it with you. I will just change the deadline in a few hours for you to know when exactly you we have to submit. But before we wrap up, before we finish this one, I would love to have feedback on the last challenge, week 4 challenge. Anything you can say about that? Any feedback? How was it? Anyone who can share maybe? Anyone who's willing to share? How was the last career challenge and technical tutorial? The submission date of this one, you mean? This tutorial? No, it's not today. It's not today. We're going to give you more days. Are we edit here the deadline? That's what I was saying. So it's not today. Because we used to we were to have this session on Friday, but I was in the hospital. I was not feeling well, but that's why we had it today. So I will give you more days for submission. It's not like today. I don't think today you can make it. It's kind of long. Yeah. So I want to have feedback on the last tutorial. As I was checking on your on 10x and going through your submissions. But if you can also share or anything, how it was, just any feedback, the chat box. Good, one, like can use even 1 or 2 words. Okay, maybe no feedback, fine. All right, so that's it. I hope we're good. Everything is understandable. But before we end as well, is there any question about today's session, about today's career exercise? Any session before we end the session? I mean, any question before we end the session? No question. All right, amazing. All right, thank you so much and have a good day ahead.